Did you know that parents rank financial literacy as the #1 most difficult life skill to teach? Meet Greenlight, the debit card and money app for families. With Greenlight, you can send money to kids quickly, set up chores, automate allowance, and keep an eye on your kids' spending with real-time notifications. Kids learn to earn, save, and spend wisely, and parents can rest easy knowing their kids are learning about money with guardrails in place. Try Greenlight risk-free today at greenlight.com/Wondery.
Looking for your best sleep ever? Sleep Number smart beds are literally made for you. They adapt to your changing needs. So whether you're dealing with sore muscles or running hot at night, your bed automatically adjusts for optimal comfort. Want softer, firmer, cooler, warmer? With personalized firmness settings and temperature control that cools up to 20 times faster than leading competitors, you'll get the perfect sleep environment every night. Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed? So you can choose your ideal comfort on either side. And now it's the Sleep Number Everything Smart Bed sale. Every smart bed and base are on sale during our Memorial Day event, up to 50% off, limited time, exclusively at a Sleep Number store near you. See store or sleepnumber.com for details.
This is Reusse for my guy Josh Arnold. Does thinking about retirement make you uncomfortable? Sometimes the anxiety from wondering if you've saved enough can be overwhelming. But what if I told you that you could ease those tensions in just 48 minutes? My guy, Josh Arnold, Mr. Money Talk, can sit down with you and get you on the right track for your financial future. Josh has navigated it all when it comes to uncertain market and economic conditions, and he'll always provide straight talk, never sugar-coated advice on how to reach the finish line with your retirement goals. Don't let your financial worries give you an ulcer or keep you from calling Josh right now. His 48-minute no-obligation consultation could be just what you need to feel better about your future. Call Josh today at 952-925-5608 and set up your free 48-minute no-obligation consultation.
Investment services offered by Josh Arnold Investment Consultant, LLC, a security investment advisor. Past performance is no guarantee of future results. All investments involve risk. All comments and opinions are Josh Arnold's and do not constitute investment advice.
Patrick Reusse is a paid endorser.
This isn't a popular topic. Skin lesions, not a popular topic.
I don't want to talk about it.
Like to talk about them.
Was it on your finger?
It's been going on for about a week. I think I'm in the early stages of leprosy, which would be a bummer. That'd be a real bummer,
You have to move to Hawaii.
It'd be a talker, though, yeah. Molokai, I was saying that. Molokai, they developed it. Now, you don't get to go out there and enjoy the sun and surf when you got leprosy anymore.
Rookie and I did a long bit on leprosy in Hawaii one year.
I don't know.
Wasn't there a lot of gauze?
Why do you think you have leprosy?
I was in the pool a week ago, and I was reaching into the skimmer to take out leaves, and I kind of cut my finger a little bit. The thing hasn't healed. All of a sudden, I got stuff going on. A big thing on my leg. This showed up this morning. I don't know where the hell that came from.
You frightened me.
I don't know. I know. I got the doc on. I'm trying to track down the doc, but either that or it's a spider bite from when I was sleeping down in the dungeon the other day, and that got me on the leg.
I would say that's a spider bite.
Can you pull your mic up towards you, Patrick?
A lot of venom. I don't know, but it's.
But it's bothering me that the cut won't heal.
Yes, it is bothering. There's something going on.
Well, let's go get it stitched.
Nah, it's not that kind of cut, but it's just that it's. Plus, I got it like a week ago. There's less skin on it than there was before, which makes me think it could be leprosy.
I don't. Is this contagious?
Is this going to affect because you like to peck when you type?
I can still.
That's what I'm wondering.
There's a little bit of finger sticking out of the Band-Aid.
That's my main finger.
That's what I mean.
That's the lead horse. But anyway,
do your words per minute go down a little bit?
Yeah, well, last night I was on deadline, and I hit a wrong key, and 500 words just went whoosh.
I don't like when that happens.
I
really
whoosh.
don't like
No,
when
I don't like that.
That might have happened to me in Detroit that one year.
Yes, when that telegram accidentally fell off.
It just fell.
Cover.
I didn't have anything to do with
no,
it. It just fell 4 aisles
back
down.
Then, that was like the premiere of computers for sports.
Yeah, well,
writers,
you can
too,
have
anyway.
them.
That was the Silverdome? Was that the Silverdome?
I'll say.
So when's the last time we had a sports weekend like this? You got the Vikings and the Packers. Everybody's wired up. Our guys played 28 minutes of the best football in the history of the franchise. It was a ass-kicking of the first magnitude. And they win, and they're now 4-0. Cat out of nowhere gets traded. You know,
I have some questions about that.
Late in the evening, and our Gophers get robbed at Michigan once again.
Mm-hmm.
We're 4-44 against Michigan since 1966. But if it wasn't for the cheating refs,
Right.
the series would be pretty much even, don't you think?
I didn't see the disputed call.
Well, it
was
looked
pretty
like
bad.
it was a shake. It was the Gopher fans got mad at me because I said Gophers versus refs, fair catch 1-0, onside kick 0-1. They did not like that.
But Joe, it
this
was
is a
so
bad-
egregious. How egregious?
How
was it?
egregious was it?
The Fox National crew broke it down afterwards and said the Gophs got
So
screwed.
an offside on the onside kick?
Correct.
Yes, they said the guy had leaned over the line or something.
Oh, that's a shame.
But not only did they recover it, they recovered it about 20 yards down the field.
They probably
right?
could have kicked the tying field goal right from where he recovered the ball.
That
Yeah.
Michigan's lost some talent since last year.
So what happened? The
particularly
ball
at
was turned over to
quarterback.
Michigan?
Yeah, Michigan got it, ran out the clock.
Isn't that something?
Yes. It always happens to us down there at the big house.
Oh, how'd the Mighty Twins finish? They won, didn't they?
No, they didn't.
No,
No,
they
I got to go
didn't,
back.
did they?
One more thing about Michigan, though. I'll never forget my man Augie going down to the big house. You know, he'd come back every year whistling "Hail to the Victors" for about a week. He heard the damn thing so often.
Is that a good place to watch a ball game? I've heard mixed reviews.
Well, it's.
You're a
I
long
don't
way
know.
away from the field.
When I haven't been there for 30 years, but last time I was there, they had no amenities whatsoever. It was just a big old stadium, you know.
Sure.
Nothing. So, but, you know, they draw 90 to 100,000. So you got to say it's pretty good.
Before we get to the ball club, let me ask you about this Towns trade.
Yes.
He had no say in it.
No. He was okay to stay.
B, it was a salary cap decision.
It was to some degree because if they kept him, they would have gone to the second apron of the salary cap.
Got to have an apron.
And I believe you can be there once and still do something, but if you stay there, up there, then you can really virtually do nothing. You can't sign decent free. The only free agents you can sign are the minimum veterans, and you know they didn't want to get in that situation. Plus, what's he at? He's 1 year at 50, and then he gets up to 60 or something
like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean it's.
And third, and most importantly, he struck me as being very mature about agreeing to be the mentor for Anthony Edwards.
Yeah, I don't think so.
You didn't buy that?
I don't buy it. No.
All right.
No, I think Ant is. Do
Do you think Anthony Edwards needs a mentor?
I think that
Off the court, perhaps.
I would go with Michael Connolly as
Yeah.
perhaps having a little more influence. Very veteran, but Ant's a screwball. There's no doubt about it.
Well, I know, but you got to keep him under control.
Oh yeah, you got to keep him involved. But at this point, he is a competitive SOB when he plays, and I don't know what kind of guy Julius Randle is, but if he accepts the trade and gives you all he's got, then it's okay because you got they got the DiVincenzo's a shooter. They needed one of those.
Who also plays defense.
Yeah. Randall and Cat are similar, although Cat's taller and better player. But and then the draft choice that they're talking about is probably going to be a second rounder. So if they don't use it
from Detroit,
it's
it'll be a
protected.
first rounder.
No, but it's protected. For the NBA has all these rules. It's protected for 3 years, and then if it's not used, it's protected by where they finish. So it isn't particularly high. And then if you don't use it for 3 years, it becomes a second rounder. So, But this guy Connolly, we've never seen anything like him. The NBA is the greatest gossip league there is. That's all they do. It's gossip. He has dropped 2 atom bombs with nobody knew they were coming. I've been calling him the Harry Truman of the NBA. He drops atom bombs and nobody knows they're coming. That's a bit tasteless.
In contrary to it being a gossip league.
Oh, God, yeah.
So nothing got out on this.
No, the Shams from the Athletic, who doesn't have any competition now that Woj has quit ESPN. They're the 2 scoop monsters. Had it first, but it was like already. It was not like this could happen. It was this has happened, and it was late
Friday.
Were you surprised?
I have been saying I don't trust the guy not to trade Cat. I said that a few times, but then when people said maybe to the Knicks, I said no. There's no way him and Tibbs are going to have a reunion. So I was half right, but I'm not shocked. No, I'm not shocked. But I guess I am shocked that we made it all the way to the start of practice, and then the trade got dropped. So.
When does an NBA player have the right to not agree to a trade, or don't they?
It's not like baseball. I think if you got a contract, you got to. I don't think there's.
I'm not sure either. I mean, I know in some cases
you can not agree to it by saying I ain't showing up or something. But at those prices, I don't think you want.
He'll show up.
Well, you know who's running the Knicks? Our old buddy. Gerson Rosas.
Oh, no, he's not running the
I thought he was
He's working for Leon Rose, who's running the Knicks.
Oh, I thought Gerson
Leon
was
Rose is one of those, he's an old agent who had everybody, and he's like the Lakers guy, and only older. That's how Tibbs got the job, because Tibbs is one of his clients. Gerson's just working for him.
How's Cat going to get along with Tibbs?
We'll find out.
Well, you know what? Cat never missed a game when Tibbs coached. He was 82, and he played 82 both the first 2 years when he had Tibbs. And then when Tibbs, I don't think he'd missed a game that third year in January when Tibbs got fired. Then he missed a few games after that. But he played them all, because you know what Tibbs doesn't do? He doesn't go in the locker room and say, "You feeling okay? You want to play tonight?" He just writes you on the chalkboard there, or whatever that you're playing, and you got to come to him to say you're not going to play. So, but it will be interesting to see. The Tibbs is either going to have a great season or get fired, though. If he doesn't win after this trade, I mean, win big, like at least reach the Eastern Conference Finals, he'll be out. But it was somebody. I got a text like at 9 at night, maybe saying, "What do you think of the Cat trade?" And I said, I don't know if they're going to make it or not. I didn't know it was out there. But apparently it
I got a
popped
kid
10
who's
minutes.
into basketball.
Is he for it or
by
not?
extension, a kid, and he broke that news in our house. Was it Saturday night?
Friday night.
Yeah.
Friday night?
Friday night.
At 8:30 or 9 o'clock he had it. I don't know what he does.
Was he for it or against it?
He was for it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, he's an interesting cat. But I do feel that we will miss that moment when he's up at the podium with Anthony Edwards, and we got him saying, "I told that bleeper he had to quit fouling." We're gonna miss that.
Here's what the NBA has become for me. I just can't wait for the playoffs.
Yes,
I'm not going to watch a regular season game.
God, no.
There's no point
Maybe
in
in
it.
the last 5 minutes if you happen to turn it on and say, well. You'll watch when he goes back to play the Knicks.
I guess I
when we
might.
play the
Yeah,
Knicks
sure.
in New York. But it is funny. Now that they traded him, because we, at least on Twitter, we're more upset. We like Cat better since we traded him than, before.
Than we did when we had him.
Now
all
we
his
really like
flaws,
him, yeah.
Because now how can they trade Cat? Well, instead of saying, Why'd they sign him to this huge contract?
You remember when Cat got drafted? They brought him to us at the fair. You remember that?
Yes.
Was it him or was it Wiggins?
Oh, they did bring
They brought a
Wiggins
couple.
to it. Yeah.
Okay.
But Cat's opening press conference, they had it in that atrium down below the Skyway. It was the most, he's a 19-year-old kid.
Yeah.
Mom and Dad were there. I think Mom's a teacher, and I don't know what Dad does. Very impressive. And that was the best opening press conference I ever saw from a guy because he was really smart. He was smart and great big personality then. You can't really read him, but it was an amazing opening. We always give them credit, but he was not shy. He was a great talker, but he was a weird deal. Somebody pointed out to me, he got in a car accident, like a fender bender. And what did he say? There's a 90% chance I shouldn't have survived or something like that. It was like he was on death's door and he hit the guy going about 8 miles an hour. So he was an exaggerator. But my favorite, I guess, was it was before Finchie. So it was, who was the coach? Who was the coach? Ryan. Ryan was trying Ryan was trying to spin a good thing and saying how everybody was invested. And Cat was really inspirational to the team as they were doing their summer workouts, except Cat was in Cabo with his new girlfriend that he still got, who's a influencer, Joe.
Oh, an influencer.
A buxom influencer, if I might say. What's her name? She was a buddy of one of the Kardashians. No, she was a buddy of one of the Jenners.
Is that what it was?
Yeah, Jordan somebody or else. I think you should.
The name Jordan is even a tip-off.
Yeah, you should come up so Joe can check her out.
Okay.
Because I think he'd agree on the buxom part. Yeah, Jordan. What's the Jordan? Yeah, I think they're still going too. I think they're still. You know what those NBA guys do?
What's that?
No, what they don't do, they don't rush into marriage.
Yeah.
Is it Jordan Woods? Is that her
Jordan
name?
Woods? Yes.
Isn't that related to Tiger?
No.
Let me see.
Oh, boy. Here he comes.
Here we go.
All right. Where are you going?
He's looking at the computer.
Okay.
She got the hijab on.
Well,
No,
she doesn't, Joe.
Well, she's an attractive girl. That the missus?
Yeah, you'd take her to Cabo if you had the money, wouldn't you?
Well, you pretty much would probably take her wherever she has to go, would be my guess.
Wherever she wanted to go.
Yep.
Anyway, hey, so we got that going.
What did Jerry Burns say to
Joey Brown?
Holy
Cow, is that the missus? She was Joey Browner's wife was a model.
influencer?
Influencer before we used
Did you know that he is now a big-time radio personality in Las Vegas?
Joey, good.
Yes.
He's got his life together. He spent some time sleeping outside. He was brokered now.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
But in fact, because years ago...
good guy.
Yeah, we had him on as a guest on the Saturday show that I did with Shaletta. She was buddies with Joey, and so I didn't know that he was a radio personality. But he's great. He was really, really good.
That's good. Yeah, I'm glad to see he's got doing well because he was out. He's probably one of their 5 or 6 best ever players, I'd say.
Really?
God, he was good.
Yes, he was.
He was Burnsy always said he'd have him on kickoffs and everything else. I always want him back there. I don't know. I want him to be the last line of defense at all times.
Because Will's playing safety, so I was showing him some safety, Krause and all these guys, and I said, Joey liked to do the clothesline tackle once in a while.
Will's going to have to grow about 1.5 feet and add about 100 pounds of muscle, and then he'd be the same, I think, and improve his speed substantially.
Yes.
And so how about our Twins?
See you in Fort Myers.
God almighty.
What a disappointment down the stretch.
Okay, I'm not a big Rocco basher, but I got to say.
I am.
I got to say this. Saturday, you lose Friday night. Your tragic number is 0, right? You're done. Everybody's got to lose. The Kansas City's got to lose both of the last 2, and you got to win both of the last 2. Then you win because you got the tiebreaker, right? And he's in there after, I'm not giving up. We're going to fight till the end. Then he brings in Cody Funderburk on Saturday and gives up 4 runs and blows the guy and pitched for him for 2 months. What if you're really fighting to the end? And it's a 1-run game at the time.
Yep.
Bring in Griffin Jacks one last time, right?
Not only, Pat, did they get I'm not spending a dime on them. I'm not turning on the TV. I'm not turning the channel on. They're not even to get my television support. To hell with them.
Because of what?
Well, if you want me
For
to
the collapse, or
Chip nailed it. If this is what the product you're going to put out there, then to hell with you. You need to sell the team. Sorry,
well, that's great, but I keep telling you guys, people. So you're going to get somebody who's going to pay them $1.2 billion for the franchise, and then come in and say, spend all you want to be in this mediocre baseball market with 23rd best attendance in the league, I believe, which it should be. But that all of a sudden everybody thinks somebody's going to come in here and spend all that money. Some group's going to spend all that money.
But then what excuse do you give?
Then have a $200 million payroll?
But then what excuse do you give the current organization? Because I don't. They're not. The message that they're giving, Pat, I guess, to the fans is we're completely content with being mediocre.
Well, that's what everybody's saying, but they, to me, doing nothing at the start of the season was bad, but when your team has played well for 3 months,
right,
you got to get them. You got to
go get an arm. You got to do
get
something.
Somebody, yeah, especially when you got a bunch of prospects with a terrific injury history that you can maybe trade. It's. I mean, PR-wise, this is now. I don't know the social media ripping they're taking is indicative of everybody, but it's their PR was horrible.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Why does Reusse not stay with the team? He only wins a batting title for whoever he's with. Why isn't he still here?
We didn't like him because he didn't score enough runs.
He gets on base all the time.
Yes, well, he's won 3 straight batting titles.
Yep.
But Miami tried to sign him, didn't like his price, so that's why they traded him to San Diego.
And I agree with you, Joe. This team definitely could use him.
He would have been a wonderful, what we used to call the spark plug.
Or the table setter.
The table setter down this stretch.
The one knock, though, on Louis is he doesn't really have a position. He's kind of a liability.
So what?
I agree.
He isn't any worse at second than Eddie Julian, I guarantee
that's
you.
true.
Or
That is
Kyle
true.
Farmer.
That's true.
You can coach a guy how to play second base. You can't coach a guy how to win a batting title.
True. That's true. No, I agree with you. I wish he was.
He had 141 straight plate appearances without a strikeout.
He made the Wall Street Journal. It was some sort of amazing feat.
Yes, 141.
He went a couple of months.
Plate appearances without a strikeout, yes.
Wow.
Well, we couldn't keep him.
Well, you know who loved him? Didn't Rodney love him?
Oh, yeah. He and Rodney were big.
They were buddies, right? Yeah.
In fact, Rodney, 2 years ago when he was still with the Twins, watched a game out in California and called them and said, "You're standing up too straight. You got to get back down.
With your hands."
Rodney liked to hit.
Yep.
Rodney liked to hit somewhat crouched, and he said, "You're rising up, and that's why you're popping the ball up, and you got to get back down." And Reusse did that and went on a tear again. But yeah, Rodney was monitoring him, so Rodney loved him because how many players are like Rodney anymore?
Right.
Now, the thing about the difference there is Rodney could run, and Louis not fast. Rodney can get to first base just as fast as he wanted to.
Yeah, but Louis fast enough.
Oh yeah. I agree with you.
Jeez, that still bothers me for some reason.
Yeah,
we got Pablo.
Big deal. He fails as much as he succeeds.
Yeah, he pitched great for 6 weeks, and then you sent him out there twice when it was all over. And
when it mattered.
That puke he made in Boston, the first game of the doubleheader, that sealed their fate when he gave up 7 runs in 4 innings.
Yep.
That was it. because you're in Boston, the Dead Sox, they're calling them out there. They haven't done anything. And then your ace goes out there on a doubleheader and gives up 7.
So what's going to happen? They're going to show up next spring with this group?
No, I think there are going to be lots of changes. Kepler's gone. Farmer, they got 5-6 guys who ended the season with them playing some who aren't going to be here next year.
Will Rocco be here next year?
They said yesterday, yes. Both Rocco and Joe, I wasn't there for Joe Poled's press conference with Falvey, but the quotes were not. Basically, he said, it's a disappointment, and we're not giving you any information on where we're going from here. So, anyway, I don't know. If I was that kid, I think I'd pay attention on Thanksgiving morning. That's all I got to say. There's nothing set in stone. There can be late.
The committee still has to convene.
They can be late surges that take place,
All I want is a manager trying to win today's game.
Yes.
I don't want a manager trying to win 3 games from now.
Well, here, I got bad news for you. The Detroit Tigers, now they got this lefty Scooble who they let pitch, but they, with this great surge at the end of the season, they're taking their starters out 2 times through the batting order every game except Scooble. And there's stories being written about they might have changed pitching permanently with this surge. So, but then again, baseball does have, thank God they put in the rule of 13 pitchers maximum. Else these teams that have 15 pitchers.
Right.
And the guy.
His post game, you're talking about Hinch, his post game after they clinched it, that was pretty cool.
Oh, I didn't hear
in their
that.
clubhouse, it was pretty cool.
Joe, they were what? Well, they traded their second best starter.
They were 55 and 61 something?
Yeah, they were the Twins. Now, I don't believe in all this BS because you always see it on the thing, but Twins were what, like 97% to make the playoffs?
Yeah,
or something?
95%, and it slipped down to 0.03%.
I forget who put it up, if it was Bobby Nightingale. Somebody put up the graph of here was their percentage to, and all of a sudden it just went boom, like the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, it was very amazing. And right now, I'm going to make a strong statement. I think the Vikings are way more popular than the Twins right now.
That is a piping hot sports take.
That's always been the case.
Yes, and never more so than after through the first 28 minutes Sunday at Green Bay.
I'll say this about O'Connell. A lot of teams would. That would be problematic, what happened yesterday. I think O'Connell will have a little chat with the boys and say, you can't, this isn't the way this works. You can't let this happen
what
again.
I like about him, he comes off as this choir boy.
Mm-hmm.
But his press conference on the sideline, he's not the choir boy on the sideline. He managed to drive LaFleur insane. He comes running down the field screaming, and then he gets. It's very difficult to get unsportsmanlike penalty for a coach in the NFL, unlike other sports. But in this case, LaFleur did everything he could to get it because that was a no-show.
Now they got this stupid London BS.
Yeah.
You guys going?
Yeah, I'm going to be there. They got the London
I'd
game
like to go to London, but not to see a football game.
against the Jets, and the Jets I don't think are the answer. I think that shouldn't be a problem for them.
Well, then you know what you got. Sam Darnold with the revenge game.
Well, that's
Yeah,
right.
you do have that, yeah.
Mm-hmm. I think we should trade J.J. McCarthy, don't you? The kid that got hurt.
You got to stop doing that.
You don't need him. Just keep trolling that and see what happens.
Yeah.
But the thing that's going to be great about them playing the Jets is if it's like it was yesterday where they get up 14, 21 to nothing, Aaron Rodgers will check out completely.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I don't.
What was yesterday? 10-9?
10-9. And they missed the game-winning field goal at the end of regulation.
Who'd they lose to?
They lost at home to Denver.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Icky. 10 to 9?
10 to 9.
10 to 9.
They're supposed to have a good defense. I
And
guess.
by the way, your guy, Bo Nix, he had 60 passing yards.
Wow.
They still lost.
And he's got Sean Payton, the genius of offense, as his coach, too. Yeah, you can't. I think 5-0 is inevitable here, right?
Well, that and look at the games they got after because they got the bye.
Everybody was talking about the tough early
They got the
schedule.
bye after the London game?
I think so, right?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
And then they come home and play. I think they come home to play Detroit after the bye.
Overrated.
And then they play the Colts, who aren't very good. Mm-hmm. And
They can run the table. Could it be 15-1, and then we take a dump at home? Could
why can't you let us have nice things?
Could it be the second coming of the Weeping Blondes, who I say hello to every morning in my garage?
Somebody, was it you that put that on social media?
No, somebody else.
Somebody
did.
else.
You got the Weeping Blondes in the garage?
The garage, right?
It's framed.
there.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Signed by Brian Peterson.
Oh, yeah.
Right there.
Yeah.
It's right there on my side of the garage.
Yeah,
Good
not
morning,
her. Don't put
girls.
on her side.
Good morning.
Hello, girls.
You got the big garage, right?
Yeah.
That's good because I park on the right.
Yeah.
I got the wife parks on the left.
Yeah.
When she leaves, she's hogging the room. She's got me over there. It's I got to get her over to the left.
Yeah.
It's,
You got to hang the tennis ball down like my old man used to do
Is
for my
that
mom.
right?
Yeah. Here, line up the rearview mirror right with the tennis ball right here.
Yeah, we got a garage that barely holds two, and then she hogs her. Get over there, come on.
Yeah.
That's
That's part of the game of flaws.
yeah, it is. It is.
I got to
And
go
you
see
know
this
what?
guy.
And the game of flaws. I had to break the news to the wife that I think I have leprosy, which is really a flaw. That would test the relationship.
It really would.
I was adding to the list at home
Hell,
over the weekend.
I don't like leprosy.
Well, I can add that one too, but my oldest was looking at going, Dad, what is this stuff? I said, this is the list of stuff Reusse doesn't like. He's like, why is it? Why doesn't he like field goals? What's wrong with field goals?
Long,
said long, consistent
field
field goals.
Guys, you've stopped them at the 42, and then somebody runs out there and
Did you
kicks a
put any
58
ointment
yarder.
on this thing?
Yeah, I've tried everything. Yeah, there's
Unguent?
various. I got on the right leg.
I don't
here.
like that.
I think it's
Is it
that's where it all started.
just a bruise? That's the spider.
God, no.
That's the spider.
Spider's just a bruise.
I think so.
This ain't a bruise.
It's
This
a
is
cut.
this is like an amputation. You know? I don't know.
God,
What the hell?
Yeah.
If you get, I'll say one thing. If it's leprosy, Mendota Bridge, here I come. Because I ain't putting up. I don't want to look like that guy at the end of Braveheart. You
Oh, yeah, you don't want to look like that.
No, I don't want it. That guy was not attractive.
Mendota Bridge, here I come. God.
All right.
All right,
See you next
goodbye.
Jim Paul's Valley Group of GM dealers.
Jim Paul's Valley Group of GM dealers.
Your guys.
My guys, boy, I bet this has been. I got to call them up and ask them what a robust month
Was
this has been for
let me ask you a
car
question.
sales.
Was this the
Every day is a good day to sell a car.
was this the maximum amount of Reusse walks in the month of September?
Oh,
it had to
God,
have
yes.
been.
Yeah, I've been the convertible's been down
You gotta walk
25.
with that leg
25 days. Yes. I'll have to use my left foot to drive. But anyway, Jim Paul, Brett Paul, Valley Group of GM dealers, low interest rates, high factory rebates, Buick SUVs, 4 different varieties, a Buick station wagon that's supposed to be marvelous, and Sierra big honking GM trucks that everybody wants. As I say, even the gals are driving big old Sierra trucks right now, and this is the place to get them. They'll treat you great. They got veteran salespeople out there, and they'll make the deal with you. It'll make you happy. Jim Paul and Brett Paul, Apple Valley and Hastings, both sides of town taken care of. This is Reusse for the Canopy Group. Your kids are back in school, and when they get home, they do their homework some of the time. So why aren't you doing your homework? You have been with that same home and auto insurance company that has only one agent who represents only one insurance company. That's why. You deserve more. Get options. The Canopy Group provides you with 16 options, not just one company. Don't tell your kids, but you can outsource your homework to the Canopy Group. They will find the best insurance coverage for the best price. Visit thecanopygroup.com and let them do the homework for you.